To promote their third album, the band embarked on a major European tour. When they reached Munich, Peter was greeted by some unexpected fans.
Certainly John McVie would fully blame an event in Germany where Peter took some more drugs and for sure never really came back from that, to our recollection, and John is to this day absolutely furious with these people. We call them the German jet set, and they captured Peter completely and pulled him away.
We got to Munich airport. All of a sudden these people showed up. I don't know if it was 2 or 3, but I remember the 2 of them specifically. A very beautiful girl, I mean, like model actress looking, dressed in this black velvet, and whoa, and this guy next to her, and he looked like a John Lennon. He had his wire-rimmed glasses and a cape, and they met Pete right there. It looked like it had been arranged somehow, and it was kind of unspoken. I thought, well, maybe Mick and them know something about these people. They didn't acknowledge any of the rest of us. They were very rude.
The reality was that Peter was already set to leave Fleetwood Mac, pretty much. But my God, this was like the final nail in the coffin, which of course we related to as a band.
So they came to the gig, kind of like they looked at the rest of the band in disdain. And I don't know if it was musically, they didn't think we were quite in the zone enough or whatever it was. They're very intellectual types, you know. They said, oh, there's a party we've been invited to at the this big, huge mansion place in the forest.
We went out to this sort of mansion, pseudo, you know, big old weird house.
And so we're driving into there, and finally we come to this place. And it was a kind of hippie commune sort of thing, with weird stuff going on in all the rooms. That girl was there. She was one with the psychedelic painted walls and everything, but a rich, rich place.
There was definitely some money flying around. They were like German aristocracy-ish.
Arrived there, I got out of the van. Dennis Keane comes walking up to me, he's shaking in his boots. And he was stoned too. He comes up to me and he goes, it's so weird out there. Don't go down there, Jerry. Don't go down there. Pete is weirding out big time. The vibes are just horrible, you know.
I didn't realise what was going on until I tried to talk to someone and didn't realise they were German. And I was on this trip and I didn't understand what was going on. Then I see Pete in this studio playing this guitar with all these, you know, it was like mayhem. Pete was laughing and, you know, he thought it was great.
Dennis Keane, I have some recollection of him being somewhat trying to be the responsible sort of road manager guy. It's like, come on, it's time to go. But in truth, they started sort of getting to us as well.
And then as like anything else, it wears off, and if you're not, if you can wear off with it, then you know what's going on, you're aware of it. And that's immediately I said, well, we got to get out of here.
He was practically in tears. I tried to kind of, you know, reassure him, look, you know, God is in control, he can keep, you know, I did my best, you know. But it was really weird. And the music coming up from below, down there, it was bad news.
So I really was, you know, can't play with no one listening, or enjoy myself, or whatever it was. I got the sound, was interesting sound, curious sound.
They definitely knew who they wanted to be with, you know, and nurture, and they had a music thing going on there, and Peter was the man.
And I believe they were some sort of cult. That is what they do. They get you in and they strip you of your identity, of your belongings, of your money, and it helps them to become more powerful. And the reason I say that is because they very likely were just starting up, and Peter Green was a prime man who's making millions. And he did give off this religious look, Peter.
So Pete says, so what do you think of my playing then, you know? And I said, "Dude, shit." It sounded like out of the pits. But he said, "Well, okay, that's what you think." He said, "That's the most spiritual music I've ever played in my life."
I had a good play there. It was great. I recorded that. Or I didn't record it. Someone recorded it. And they gave me a tape.
And that one girl was there. She was taking nude photographs in one room.
The chap who John has a distinct disdain for had an incredibly beautiful girlfriend or wife. Stunning. And it was all very, yeah.
There's other people playing along and then playing with a few of us just falling around. And it was great.
I didn't know where we were. But when we used to play Europe, I'd always have a box of matches or the key of the hotel, so I knew. That's how I phoned the manager up and said, "You've got to come down and get us out of here."
A couple of times I'd look and he'd be sitting in the back of the car with Danny, and he'd like this, and Danny would do it, and he would be on the other side, but it's like this together, and I can't remember how this. They were locked in something together, and it wasn't good.
Peter Green and Danny Kerwin both went together to that house in Munich. Both of them took acid, as I understand it. Both of them, as of that day, became seriously mentally ill. I think it's too much of a coincidence for it to be anything other than taking drugs. It's as of that day, and I think if you speak to Meg and John and Jeremy, they would tell you exactly the same story. You know.
For me, yeah. I think that was the fork in the road. Buggers.
After the cathartic experience of Munich, Peter was growing more disillusioned with the constraints of the band, and during the European tour, he finally decided to leave.